So I made the switch to Niri. I was using Hyperland for 2 years. Then I decided to switch to Niri because I wanted to try out Niri, how the scrollable tiling window manager ecosystem is right now. And previously, when I discovered Niri, I wanted to make the switch, but it didn't have one crucial feature that was in Hyperland, but not in Niri at that time. It is now present in Niri, and that feature is separation of config files. I really like to keep everything clean. So this is the Niri desktop environment that I'm using right now. And yeah, I'm using Quick Shell for all the widgets, the app picker, and the notification tray. And terminal is Kitty. Let me open my dot files. Okay, so here are my dot files for it. As you can see, it is very much trimmed down from before, if you have seen my dot files before. And yeah, it looks very clean now. So fast fetch is neatly configured in this folder. All the things that are displayed when I open my terminal, this is the fast fetch config for that. And then there is the kitty config, which is basically setting the box theme for the terminal. And the font, I made the switch from JetBrains Mono to Google Sans and Google Sans Monospace or something like that. The name, yeah, Google Sans Code. So I preferred Google Sans Code from JetBrains Mono, so I switched to Google Sans Code. Yeah, friendship ended with JetBrains nerd fonts, and then these is the Niri config. So it's very similar to how Hyperland can be configured, but for Niri, you need, if you want to open your Niri session with your custom config, you may need to edit the session entry. Here you need to put, here you need to pass the location of your custom config file and a argument dash dash session that essentially tells Niri that this session is like a VLAN session, like proper VLAN session, and it pre-configures all the screencasting and other stuff for you. So yeah, you need to do that, unlike Hyperland. So this is a extra step that I need to do for configuring this setup. And then the settings are pretty easy to understand. These are all the keybinds that I'm using. Mod is the Windows key, the super key. And yeah, it's very straightforward. I really like the syntax. I prefer this over Hyperland. You just define mod plus W. What happens when you press mod plus W? Then this is a keyword spawn, which essentially spawns the process and spawns Nemo, which is my file manager. Yeah, it's very straightforward. And for scripts, or if you need to run something on the shell, you cannot do it with spawn. You need to use this special keyword spawn sh. After that, you will be able to run scripts like keylol java or a flatpak command. And then some hyper picker utilities I'm still using. Some Hyperland utilities that I'm still using right now. This is the hyper picker. So it's a very, very handy tool. It was developed by the Hyperland maintainer, and yeah, it just takes a screenshot of your screen and allows you to pick any color from the screen. And it is very handy for me because I need this to design stuff and pick the colors accurately. And yeah, everything is pretty straightforward. You can go to the Niri documentation to get a pretty clear understanding of everything. So everything is just a single large scrollable list, and those are also divided into workspaces. This is very useful for me because in Android Studio you need to manage a lot of things at once, like the emulator, the file panel, the editor, and maybe a terminal. So most of the times, all of those things, it was very difficult to fit all of that in a single screen. But with this, I can just go to a separate workspace and run Android Studio on it. Android Studio takes a bit of time to load. Okay, so it has loaded. So as you can see, the file editor is separate. Let me open a file. This file, okay. The file editor is separate. The file panel is separate. And if I want to chat with the built-in AI agent, then I can do it on a separate window. And all of these things are in the same workspace. So if I want to go to the editor, I can just mod plus L. So I have just set up mod plus Vim key bindings to navigate between the windows. And yeah, it is very easy to navigate between all of this. And if I want to open an emulator, I can just put that here. I can move it to the side if I want to. Yeah, it's very handy. I can increase the size of the panel and it can go way beyond what my actual screen width is. And I usually don't need, this is my comfort size, which I have explicitly declared here in window rules. Yeah, so window rules are very straightforward too. Yeah. What did I do? Z, right? Yeah, window rules are very straightforward. I just tell it to match any window with the app ID Studio and Z. I also use Z. So these two windows with these two app IDs will be configured with these properties. Open maximized is false, means they will not open taking the whole entire width of the screen. And the default column width is 1300 pixels, which is the width of this window here. So yeah, it's very easily configurable. I could have put all of these in a single file, but I don't want that. It just doesn't sit right with me. And yeah, I do this. So yeah, in the main root level config KDL, you just need to include settings. This is like C or C++ syntax. You need to include all other KDL files, which are the KDL is like the extension for Niri configuration files. Yeah, I think it's a global configuration standard like JSON, but I don't know where else it is used for. These are the startup apps, pretty self-explanatory, like exactly like in Hyperland. And yeah, these are the settings. The settings are very more customizable than Hyperland. One thing that Niri doesn't have is Hyperland was a lot more customizable and a lot more prettier to look at. Like it had blur for layers. I didn't find anything like that here, but I think I have grown out of all those flashy setups, and I just want something that works. I am not too attached with how my desktop environment looks. If it looks right to me, then I'm okay with it. So yeah, this is my quick shell files. Pretty self-explanatory. Everything is divided. Bar the separate. It is separately configured. Launcher, logout, wallpaper. Everything is separate. Everything is clean. Life is good. These are the screenshots which I'm not currently using in the README right now. Swap file. Okay, so yeah, I will update this later. And yeah, the previous Hyperland config one, I have archived it. It's available on a previous tag on my GitHub repo if you want to look at what it looked like. So yeah, so 39 slash dot files. This should be the dot files repo that I was using previously for Hyperland. I changed everything to Niri. This is the release I made almost a year ago. And yeah, this is pretty much the configuration, last Hyperland configuration that I was using. So if you are curious about what scripts I was using there, so you can use this. And yeah, I'm just full on Navy right now. Goodbye Hyperland, except Hyperpicker. Life is good.